What is your fondest memory of your family drinking coffee?
Well, I kind of have two, and they're similar, but they were just different sides of the family. The Smith side of my family, the family that I was adopted into, they um, would always have what's called a cousin Christmas, and it would be my grandmother and her sisters, entire extended family, and they had large families, so it was a lot of people in one place. And I remember one Christmas, cousin Christmas, I had finally become old enough to stay up afterwards, like stay up later and kind of be at the table. So I think I was probably in late, maybe eighth grade, probably eighth grade. And I remember at the end after dessert and everyone had hung out and all the children were asleep, um, everyone just sat around the table and drank coffee. And they all had coffee. And I think they might have poured me some coffee and I just smelled it. I don't think I liked it yet. Um, but I just remember when the coffee came out, it was almost like a veil came off, and like everyone just became very candid, very open, and very just loving. And yeah, I just remember it being a really loving experience. And I had a similar experience with my mom's mom and dad. Um, but this time when I was actually drinking coffee. I was in college by that time, and my grandmother had the cuckoo clock that would go off, and it was this German-made cuckoo clock. And I had gone to stay by myself, and it was prior to a holiday. I think it was prior to Thanksgiving. And my grandmother always got up really early to make sure that she could put the coffee in the percolator. Like to this, like she would always do the percolator. That was how they liked their coffee. And so she'd start the percolator and it would make this noise. And then she would begin to cook like bacon and eggs and stuff so that everything would be ready when my grandfather woke. And this was her routine every morning. And I remember at this point, I remember kind of like subconsciously waiting for the percolator, like to hear it, because it makes this bubbling sound.
Yeah.
And and I remember I was in college, and it was the moment that I was like, yes, the coffee is ready. Like grandma's in there making coffee, and it just was this feeling of like inner warmth and love, like because she was just so devotional to the family, right? Like
Yeah.
she was so devotional to the family, doing her service and her duty, um, that it just I don't know, it was just so special. And yeah, so I don't know, it was, I remember getting up and going in and smelling the coffee as soon as I hit the hallway, and going and sitting and have coffee with my grandmother, waiting for my grandfather to wake.
That's
And it was just a really nice moment to be kind of in the dark. The sun hadn't risen, and we just sat and drank coffee together.
that's awesome.